My name's Adam Monaco and I'm the Financial Controller for Hi-Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at Hi-Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. Hi-Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
Hello and welcome to Queensland Raceway for our continuing coverage of round 3 of this year's Swann Super Series. I'm Lance Robertson and today we bring you all the action from the Matrice Dampers Supersport and AM-Sport 600s. Heading into this weekend, Sam Lambert is the man that everyone is chasing. He dominated all but one of the races at Sydney Motorsport Park back in March, and as we take a look at the standings, he has a 12-point lead over Hayden Spinks and Giuseppe Scarcella, who coincidentally has gone to compete overseas and is not here this weekend. Callum Barker and Simon Rees round up the top 5. Meanwhile, in the AM-Sport 600 standings, Carl Kitson holds a commanding 37-point lead from Grant Davis, with Jamie Aitken, Brian Bolster and Robbie Tesserero completing the top 5. Matrice Dampers have been a welcome addition to the Swann Super Series, providing naming rights sponsorship for the Supersports. As we get ourselves prepared for Race 1, Becky Lamb caught up with Terry Hay from Shock Treatment Suspension, the national distributor of Matrice Dampers.
Yeah, we come across Matrice completely by accident. I actually had one of our customers turn up with some Matrice product that he brought in from overseas, and he asked us to install it in his bike. And you know, we've always been an established player at the highest end of the market, and performance has always been our greatest criteria. And when we saw this gear, I mean, it was engineered to a much higher level than anything we've dealt with before, and it obviously allowed us to extend our capabilities to improve the performance of motorcycles, and we've had a great relationship with them ever since. With any suspension component, what we're trying to do is get the bike to obviously handle as good as it can, and what I like to think of is that we eliminate the motorcycle as a distraction. So if the rider's out there and he's not thinking about the motorcycle because it's basically handling correctly and doing everything that he needs it to do, he can basically get on with his job of racing. Oh, well, this year is just our toe in the water. I mean, we've come out and we've supported the series, and the series sponsorship benefits every rider. But what we want to do is take it a little bit further and allow individual riders or teams to come on board and get the benefit of the Matrice product. You know, there's, like I said, there's so many other players out there at this point in time. We've got something better. We want to go further, and that's what competition's all about.
Riders are on the track for the first of 3 9-lap races for the Matrice Dampers Supersport and AM-Sport 600s. We have a total of 35 bikes today lining up, and the competition across both classes is impressive. Here's the grid. The first row sees the 2 Sams in Lambert and Condon, with Callum Barker and Brenton Hyde alongside. Row 2 is headed up by Hayden Spinks, with Simon Rees, Anthony Quinn and Jack Dawes completing the quartet. The third row is Stephanie Redmond, Ryan Sellen and Shane Irwin. From row 4 onwards, it's all about the AM-Sport 600s, with Jamie Aitken, Ben O'Connor, Brian Bolster and Carl Kitson. Row 5 has Oscar Davidson, Matt Pillington, Grant Davis and Mary Molina, with the 6th and final row filling out with Adam Hend, Adrian Pellegrin, Nathan Brumby and Keith McCulhey in 24th position. As we wait for the starters' orders, this is a 9-lap Matrice Dampers Supersport and Sport 600. Revs are built up high, and it looked like there on the Callum Barker got a blinder of a start and will head them down into Matrice Dampers for the first time, Tim.
Yeah, Callum Barker's been practicing at the drag strip just down the road there. Lance taken it to the bigger machines, won a trophy recently in his drag racing on his little 600, but excellent start by Callum Barker at the moment. We'll like Sam
Lambert, he's got him in his slipstream. Barker bounces to the inside on the exit of Dunlop Supermax, Tim, as he heads down the bikehaggle.com.au back straight and into iPone Oils for the first time. Barker is still maintaining that race lead, but Sam Lambert, he's certainly chiselling away.
Yes, and didn't seem to gain anything in the slipstream there, Sam Lambert. That Suzuki's got a bit of mumbo. It's not one of the fancied machines in this 600 Supersport class. R6 has seemed to have dominated for quite some time now, but excellent riding so far for the Elite Motorcycles Power Plus Racing Suzuki. But here comes Sam Lambert up the inside.
Barker getting out of the seat there. I was about to make a comment that I guess some people would say may even put the commentator's curse on Callum Barker. He was telling me that he fell off yesterday. He wants to keep it upright today, and he's going to try as hard as he possibly can, as early as he can, because he knows how strong Sam Lambert is at about 1/3 race distance through till the end.
And the other Sam Condon's up there as well, losing nothing to the front runners for the first flying lap there. Lance actually closing down on now the Elite Motorcycles Power Plus Racing Suzuki of Barker. Well, Lambert actually pulling away a little bit.
So Sam Lambert ahead of Callum Barker, Sam Condon, Hayden Spinks and Brenton Hyde. Almost 3 seconds behind in 5th place. Front 3 runners have broken the back of the rest of the pack nice and early, Tim. That's good for them, bad for everybody else, because they're starting to concertina up.
Yeah, Hayden Spinks sitting in 4th position. He's got to be one of the most spectacular riding styles you've seen, hanging right off that machine. He is fairly tall, but here's Hayden. But the top 3, like you said, Lance, pulling a little bit of a gap now over 4th position of Spinks. So it's Lambert, Barker and Condon, the top 3. But here comes Condon up the inside.
Yeah, Barker just opened up an opportunity there as he did the previous lap. He needs to learn from that, Tim. He opens up the door of opportunity by hugging to the inside or left-hand side of the circuit on the run down bikebiz.com.au straight. He loses power, loses momentum out of Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days turns 4 and 5, and that allows the competitor behind him to snap to the inside or the right-hand side on the entrance down into Races World. Oh, there's a huge problem exiting in Matrice Dampers. It's Anthony Quinn who's fallen off, and Oscar Davidson has to take evasive action. And look at this, it's set off a chain reaction with 2 more riders down. It looks like Ryan Sellen on the 310 Kawasaki, and I'm not quite sure who it is, the other rider, but surely that has to bring out the red flag. Yes indeed, the red flag has come out. All riders involved are up and about. That's good news. So here's what happened down at Matrice Dampers. We're on board with Oscar Davidson. Anthony Quinn is in front of him, and as you can see, something mechanical let go in a big way and caused Quinn to crash in front of Davidson. Now this caused a concertina effect behind them, with both Sellen and Pillington attempting to avoid the crash, but this caused them both to collide and put themselves out of the race. So all in preparation for the second time of asking for this 9-lap opening Matrice Dampers Supersport AM-Sport 600. Red flag being taken off the circuit, green flag at the back being waved. Here we go. Will Barker get the good start he did in the opening encounter? The answer to that seems to be yes, Tim.
Yes, he's very good off the line. Is Callum Barker on his GSX 600 Suzuki. Had a good lead there too as they go into Matrice Dampers for the first time.
Well, he's learnt a little bit by the lesson that was dealt out to him in race number 1. As you can see there, Sam Lambert is coming on very strong in 2nd place. Will he get the drive down out of Dunlop Sports Max? He's on the opposite side of the circuit that he needs to be for the braking manoeuvre down into iPone Oils. Will Barker hold him off? It looks like he can do. Up into 2nd place is the 21 of Sam Lambert, and Sam Condon back there in 3rd.
Yes, a good start there by Hayden Spinks on the green Kawasaki there, is sitting in 4th position at the road. But just watching the speed of that Suzuki, it's definitely holding out from that Yamaha R6, so it's got a bit of mumbo.
Well, Barker in the first encounter, the first attempt of this 9-lap duration, unfortunately was a little bit behind. Now, our timing monitor is showing that there are 2 laps there, Tim, so this may well be a combined race, not a complete restart like I mentioned earlier, which means that the way the riders see, or the way we see the riders on the circuit, is not necessarily the way that they're going to finish in this one. For example, Callum Barker is leading. Is he close enough? Yes, he is. He's actually, the race leader is leading the race.
Just to make things a little bit more confusing, Sam Lambert a little bit quicker that time around, a 1:13.2 for him and 1:14.2 for Barker.
Lambert right up onto the rear cowling now of Callum Barker, who's very wise to the fact that he needs to cover that inside line. Has he been able to do it? No, he hasn't. Lambert up the inside, down in Ipain Oils, resumes a race lead. Barker's going to have none of that. He comes back battling on the inside, but couldn't maintain the momentum that was needed to lead going down into Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days. Foot down onto the ground, goodness me.
He's onto the grass, Barker. He's outbroke himself there, coming into Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days, getting back on track now. You could see he was having a big look up the inside.
Just in front of Stephanie Redmond, who was balked momentarily, but Barker, very mindful of the fact of the riders coming through behind him, did a great job to thread the needle and resume the race in about 10th or 12th position.
Yeah, she's just still in the top 10 at the moment. Hayden Spinks now has moved into 3rd position on the road.
So 4 laps down in this 9-lapper. Lambert, Condon, Spinks, Reese, Aitken up into 5th. Hyde, Barker in 7th place now after leading in the early stages. Stephanie Redmond, the first of the ladies, in 8th. Davidson, Kitson, Davis and Bolster rounding up your top 12.
Yeah, you see the time there by Barker there, Lance. It's a big move there by Callum Barker. Definitely got his race face on now. He did a 1:19, so it took 5 seconds onto his lap time, that little excursion through Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days Turn 4.
Well, I can tell you that Matrice Dampers are the new naming rights sponsors for the Supersport class. They are one of the world's best suspension manufacturers, and I think Callum Barker needs to check out Matrice Dampers at shocktreatment.com.au to get a little bit more balance in him.
They've actually got a new shock in this bike too for this weekend. They've been running the standard one, but at the moment...
Stephanie Redmond there making a good challenge. I think you'll find that that is up the inside of Callum Barker. No, Barker is in front of her, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, Barker's still just in front there. Number 96 is Jamie Aiken, running his number from that he used to run all the time there on the blue Yamaha R6, having a great ride there by Jamie Aiken.
This, of course, is the Swann Super Series. Here's a replay of the attack on the inside of Callum Barker a lap or so ago by the number 21 of Sam Lambert, who has dominated this class of racing in the opening 2 rounds. You can see the suspension working overtime there of Barker as he tries to get the power down to the ground for the run down the Dunlop internal straight heading towards Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days. Unfortunately, that was his own undoing there.
That was a lot tighter line too, Barker, than Lambert, but making him go around the long way. But at the moment, Barker has now moved up to 5th position.
He's actually up in 4th position, isn't he?
4th position.
Has he got ahead of Reese? Or maybe I've misread that, or is Reese just in front of him? No, he's in 4th position.
No, it was in 4th position now. He's closing down Spinks to Hayden Spinks' Kawasaki there.
Doing a great job getting good drive out of Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days, using all of the black stuff, even a little bit of the white paint on the outside of the track there was Callum Barker. Now gets up into 3rd place. It'll be very interesting to hear what he has to say to Becky Lamb later on in the interviews after this one.
Yeah, 3 laps remaining in this. Looks like he's got a bit of an advantage over Hayden Spinks already as they come down the Swann Insurance main straight.
He'll be absolutely livid with himself, Tim. I mean, the young kid has got a very strong head on his shoulders, but he certainly gives himself a hard time if he makes a mistake. I hope psychologically it doesn't affect him for the rest of the weekend.
He's a rather cool character, is Callum Barker there, but you can see these times there, a 14.4 by him and a 13s for Condon and Lambert at the moment, so not making any inroads into the front 2 riders.
Oh, we've got a rider off down there. I think
no,
you'll find
Jamie
that's
Aiken.
the 96 of Jamie Aitken. Unfortunately, he looks A-OK. A little bit of gravel rash both on himself and the bike itself. I think you'll find that is down in Ipain Oils at the end of the bikehaggle.com.au back straight. He's back on circuit now.
He's having a good run there too in the top 5 there, Jamie Aiken.
Let's have a look at a replay of what happened here.
I don't think it was his own doing there.
It wasn't his own doing. No, it was not. The number 48, I think, of Brendan Hyde.
Yep. He's not very happy. Hyde keeps his bike upright and gets back on the circuit. Looks like Sam Condon's gone a little bit quicker. 1:13.1 by Lambert. A 13.8 is the best lap of Sam Condon.
But he's still nearly 4 seconds
4 seconds in front, yep.
Yeah, 3.788 to be precise.
Callum Barker's maintained third position there after getting his bike back on track after losing it going into City Motorsport Park Ride Days. He's 8.8 seconds behind the leaders.
Well, the battles are not restricted to the front of the pack either, as we're looking on screen at the moment. The minor placings, you can see how intense the battles are. Elias Matry on his Yamaha R6, number 6.
Yes, and Lambert's pulled another second over Sam Condon at that time around. Their last gap is now up to 5.6 seconds. Barker 10.6 seconds behind Lambert.
So they're on their final lap now. It is Sam Lambert, Sam Condon, Callum Barker after his earlier indiscretion, now up into third. Hayden Spink, Simon Rees and Stephanie Redmond making it up into the top 6 and leading the ladies class.
Yeah, great ride there by Stephanie Redmond, leading lady in front of Davison at the moment on his Suzuki. So a good ride there by Steph as they get ready to come into Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days for the last time, as the leader Sam Lambert comes onto the Swann Insurance Main Street to take the checkered flag. Good ride there by Sam Condon as well, crossing the line, and it looks like we're going to have Callum Barker on his Suzuki crossing the line in third place. A good recovery there by Callum.
A very good recovery. So Yamaha, Suzuki, followed home by the Kawasaki's of Hayden Spinks and Simon Rees. Stephanie Redmond, victorious in the ladies class on the Yamaha R6 in 6th. Davidson, then we have Davis, Bolster, Pellegrin, Molina and Brumby rounding up the top 12 on another of the Suzuki's.
If I can get out the front and control the race and just keep to my rhythm, I should be able to run away with it. So it was good that I was able to do that. And with Scotty Edge competition, we were able to get the bike handling really well. So with a few more tweaks here and there, we should get the Addicted to Tracks motorcycle up and going.
So Sam Lambert has picked up where he left off in Sydney with another race win, but can he keep Sam Condon and Callum Barker at bay in race 2? We'll just have to find out on the other side of this break. Welcome back to Queensland Raceway for round 3 of the Swann Super Series. Riders are preparing themselves for race 2 of the Matrice Dampers Supersports and AM-Sport 600s, and championship leader Sam Lambert is brimming full of confidence. The Northern Territorian sat down with Becky Lamb earlier today and candidly admits that he'd still like to go the extra step further in his pursuit for championship glory.
Sam Lambert, currently leading the Matrice Dampers Supersport Challenge class. It must feel really good to be on top of your game.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a great feeling being on top all the time and having such a commanding lead in all the races. But we've got a few things we want to do. We're trying to make sure that we're on pace, so we're trying to be as close to lap record as possible every time we go out. So there's a few things we work on all the time just to try and tweak the bike, tweak myself, just to get us a bit further up on times.
Let's talk about that competition. We've got Sam Condon and Callum Barker. How does that present to you? Are you wanting to get amongst that battle pack and challenge yourself, or are you quite happy to be way out in front?
I'm thinking maybe in one of the races today I might just back it off a bit and have a bit of a play, just because it gets a little boring out the front. But yeah, just try and get a bit more TV time for the sponsors maybe, and just stay back with them.
And you're not worried about the Kawasaki's being a challenge this weekend?
Not really. I think the riders themselves will definitely improve, but the Yamaha's a really strong bike and we've got a strong package together, so I don't think the Kawasaki's going to be much of a threat.
Sam Lambert certainly has some good machinery underneath him, there's no doubt about that. His Yamaha R6 is the ex-Mitch Levy mount that took him to the runner-up spot in last year's championship and is well developed to be a serious challenger this season. Our riders are on the track for race 2. Let's take a look at the grid. The first 3 rows consist of the Supersports, with Sam Lambert, Sam Condon, Callum Barker and Hayden Spinks occupying row 1. Row 2 sees Simon Rees, Stephanie Redmond, Brenton Hyde and Jack Dawes, whilst Anthony Quinn, Ryan Sellen and Shane Irwin complete the 3rd row of the Supersports. Oscar Davidson leads the AM-Sport 600 field on row 4, with Grant Davis, Brian Bolster and Mary Molina joining him. Row 5 is Jamie Aitken, Nathan Brumby, Adrian Pellegrin and Brooke Ernest. whilst the sixth and final row sees Keith McCulhey, Robbie Tesoriero, Carl Kitson and Matthew Franco share that row.
There's a huge field of 600cc machines here in the starters' hands now, Lance.
Over 9 laps, getting the best of the start was Callum Barker again. By gee, that practice that he's been doing on the starts has certainly paid off for him.
Yes, a good start there once again, as you mentioned there. Streeted the field as he did in race number 1. Sam Lambert's moved into 2nd. Sam Condon now into 3rd. And that looks like it's Hayden Spinks in 4th on his Kawasaki.
But it's the same as race number 1. Barker got a good start, but it looks like Sam Lambert and Sam Condon are coming on very strong in the very early stages of this one. It'll be a drag race down the bikehaggle.com.au back straight. And there you go, the number 21 of Sam Lambert up the inside of Callum Barker. A case of deja vu.
Yes, used the slipstream perfectly, then did Lambert to get over the 600, but that little Suzuki's fairly quick. Sam Condon's moving into 3rd position. Hayden Spinks closing down in 4th.
Is that Ryan Sellon up into 5th? No, it would be Redmond, Stephanie Redmond up into 5th place.
Yeah, Steph Redmond there's in 6th position, I think there lands.
Okay,
the pink livered helmet. But it is Simon Rees.
Simon Rees, okay.
In 5th. But here comes Sam Lambert. Looks like Condon's got the better of Barker. So Barker's been relegated now down to 3rd position.
There was one of the Condons there on the pit board for Sam Condon, giving him nothing more than gesticulation. Get there, get there.
See Troy Gunther down there holding the pit board for Callum Barker. Some good credentials there, helping him out in the pits.
So Lambert ahead of Condon, Barker, Spinks, Hyde, Redmond, Rees, Aitken up into 8th place. Davison, Davis, Kitson, Brumby, Bolster, Molina, Tesoriero, Pellegrin, Ernest, Pillington, Rhodes and Irwin rounding up your top 20. There's a replay of the overtaking manoeuvre earlier on lap number 1. That was the first time they'd completed the bikehaggle.com.au back straight, and it was certainly Sam Lambert asserting his authority in no uncertain terms over Callum Barker, who really does need to start learning how to cover his lines a little bit better, I think, Tim. Out of Dunlop Sportsmax comes this battle with the 64 of Sam Condon being chased down by the 47 of Callum Barker on the Suzuki. So it's Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Yamaha. You get the dominance of the Yamaha.
Yes, they seem to be the favoured machine. They have been for quite some time now. But look at Sam Lambert. He's already pulled a bit more of a gap. He's got the fastest sector time through there. 1:13.4 is the fastest lap of the race and the only rider so far into the 13-second bracket.
Wow, that's a pretty good time, isn't it? 1:13.4910. It's almost half a second, as you said, ahead of Sean Condon.
Next rider there, 14.1 for Condon, or 14.3 for Barker. So Sam Lambert way out in front at the moment. Let's see what he can do this time. 13.4. He's got another fastest lap of the race at 13.4. 0.6 of a second quicker than Condon and 0.8 of a second quicker than Barker.
There you go. Barker's doing a good job to hang on to the tail of Condon. The one just senses that a little hiccup from either of them, and the other will capitalise on the opportunity.
Yeah, good ride there by Sam Condon. First year on the 600cc machines.
Simon Rees there being hassled by Stephanie Redmond. Redmond trying hard to get up close enough to outbrake Rees as he gets down into the Ipan Oils turn 3. You can see Stephanie Redmond all over the back, all over that bike, trying to maximise the traction on the exit, tucking herself in underneath the screen on the run down Dunlop.
Yes, Sam Lambert using every inch of that circuit there, coming out onto bikebiz.com.au. The straight there, like right onto the white line. But but he's increased that lead ever so slightly. I think you'd have to say again, 2.2 seconds last time around that lead was. This time, no, it's only 0.1 of a second, so Sam Condon's maintained that position in second.
Redmond's got the upper hand of the boys at the moment, and she's relegated them back, Jamie Aitken and Simon Rees. So it's Lambert, Condon, Barker, Spinks, Hyde, Redmond in P6, Aitken, Rees, Davidson, Davis, Kitson and Bolster rounding up your top 12. There's Stephanie Redmond on screen, the number 49. By gee, she's doing a good job. Jamie Aitken right behind her on 96. Oh, look at this, 48 and 66.
Yeah, that's Hyde and Hayden Spinks having a great battle at the back of the circuit there, Lance, coming into Sydney Motorsport Park ride days. It's Hyde and Spinks.
Going back to Jamie Aitken, remembering that he was taken out rather unceremoniously in race number 2, Tim. He managed to get himself back up and start in 11th position, and now he's battling for 4th, 5th and 6th placing with Stephanie Redmond, and just out in front of both of them is Brendan Hyde.
Hyde's got a bit of a gap now between those two riders, but it looks like Condon's got a bit of a gap too over Callum Barker now. That's gone up to 1.3 seconds, second to third.
And the battle for 4th continues to rage on between Hyde and Spinks as we have a look at the pass a few corners ago at Ipain Oils turn 3. Hyde had loads of momentum as they hit the anchors, and Spinks did the gentlemanly thing and let him through. Then there was this move on Stephanie Redmond by Jamie Aitken. Since jumping on board his newly acquired Yamaha, Aitken has really taken it up to the Supersport riders, and there's no doubt he's put them all on notice. We have Jamie Aitken trying to get up inside of a slower rider there, the number 81 of Rhodes.
And Jamie Aitken looked like he's got the better of Stephanie Redmond as well. So Steph's been relegated down further to 8th position.
So Sam Lambert leading at the moment, ahead of Sam Condon by 2.735 seconds. Callum Barker in 3rd place, Brenton Hyde in 4th, and Hayden Spinks in 5th place. Then we have Rees, Aitken, Redmond, Davidson all battling it out for that 6th place.
Yeah, as you said there, Lance, 2.7 second lead over Condon has Lambert. Maintained about that 2.7 second gap out in front there. 2.5 laps to go in the race. Barker still sitting in 3rd position. Barker and Condon pretty much doing identical times at the moment. So Barker hasn't got any answer for the Yamaha riders out in front on his GSXR 600.
Well, he did mention to me that he was having a little bit of difficulty in getting through the development stage, but they're confident that by the end of the weekend, with some good results, they'll be able to carry themselves forward to Sydney Motorsport Park and put in an equally as good, if not better, showing in rounds 5 and 6. But there's still the rest of the day and tomorrow to come yet.
There's still more, 4 more races in the weekend for the 600s. But at the moment, that gap has now gone out to 3.4 seconds. Sam Lambert over Condon. Barker's a further 2 seconds behind Condon now.
This battle on screen between Hyde and Spinks. Hyde on the 48 and 66 is Hayden Spinks getting up the inside of him now at the end of bikehaggle.com.au. Into turn 3, the Ipain Oils corner that sets up the run for the inside part of the circuit.
Here comes Sam Lambert once again down bikebiz.com.au. Condon's behind him. Here comes Callum Barker.
We take this opportunity of a replay of the overtaking manoeuvre of Hayden Spinks up the inside of the 48 of Brendan Hyde, and that placed Spinks up into 4th, Hyde into 5th.
Spectacular style, hasn't he, Hayden Spinks? Like nearly scraping his elbow on the ground, but
MotoGP style, isn't it?
Here comes Sam Lambert. There's a last lap, half a lap to go. Sam Lambert's got it all to himself at the moment.
Doing a great job with Sam Lambert on board machine number 21. The Yamaha YRD addicted to track Yamaha R6. Slightly backing it in at the end of bikebiz.com.au through Races World for the final time.
He'll greet the checkered flag yet again, a comprehensive victor over second place Sam Condon.
You can see Condon exiting Races World and sprints up the Swann Insurance main straight to take second, and Callum Barker is not too far behind him in third. So here's how they finished after race 2. Lambert is your winner once again, 5.5 seconds clear of Condon, with Barker on his Suzuki in third. Then it's Brenton Hyde in fourth, followed by the Kawasaki's of Spinks and Rees. Jamie Aitken was the first AM-Sport entry home in seventh, followed by Stephanie Redmond, Oscar Davidson and Carl Kitson.
We're getting good feel with the bike and loads of confidence with it. So we're just making step by step just to try and increase our grip throughout the race. And we can chuck a new set of tyres on. We should have a bit more at the start of the race and shouldn't lose grip near the end.
Yeah, pretty happy with that one. We kept it consistent. Sammy's he's a hard one to catch up to. He's doing really well and had a good fight with Callum as well. But I'd just like to say a huge thank you to my sponsors, especially Bike Biz Racing, for helping me out this week, and I really appreciate it and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know, I was just pushing a little bit of rear grip sort of degradation, so yeah, every time out we're trying to obviously get a better feel in the rear. But yeah, you know, I might have to change my name to Sam, you know, with 2 Sams in front, so yeah, hopefully I can be up the front. Obviously it got good starts and yeah, they just shot past me quick, so I had to try and do my best I can, so yeah, it was good.
Now it's time for the AM-Sport 600 standalone race over 8 laps. This new addition to the Swann Super Series has certainly been a popular one amongst the riders, and they're also battling for top honours in their own championship. Carl Kitson is the man that's top of the pops as they come into this weekend, ahead of Grant Davis and Jamie Aitken. And Becky Lamb caught up with our top 3 earlier today.
Carl Kitson, you're currently leading the AM-Sport Challenge class here this weekend. Take us through the preparation to get here.
Well, so it's an interstate round for us. We're based in Wollongong, Sydney area, so drove up with a couple of the close competitors, shared in cars, sharing fuel, so it's very expensive. Had a couple of brake issues from the last round, so I had to buy a whole load of components to fix my brake issues so I can stop at the track. It's a very hard braking circuit, so you have to suit wheelbase to get it to turn right for the kind of track it is, stability under brakes, and then being able to get the power down on the way out the corners.
Grant Davis, you're currently second in the AM-Sport 600 class. What are you going to be able to do to get in front of him for that?
Aside from the general maintenance that comes with it, just maintaining the upkeep of the bike itself, just doing little bits and tweaks to the suspension, a little bit to the geometry here and there, but it's all thanks to basically Carl, his family himself, Team K-Works in Glen Allerton.
Jamie Aitken, when you look at third place on the AM-Sport 600 Series, it's your name that's currently coming third. How does that make you feel coming into the weekend for preparation-wise?
Yeah, we're really happy with the first round. Didn't expect anything like that. We're on a 14-year-old bike and we're hoping for sort of top 15 finish to finish third. We'll, yeah, ecstatic with that, definitely.
So what have you been doing in the last 3 months since our Sydney Motorsport Park races to be able to get yourself further ahead on the podium this weekend?
Yeah, we've actually got a new R6 2009 model, so hopefully that'll put us sort of a little bit further towards the front this weekend.
So here we go. Aitken, O'Connor, Bolster, Kitson, Davidson and Pillington. They're your top 6 runners, followed by Grant Davis, Mary Molina, Adam Hend, Adrian Pellegrin, Nathan Brumby and Keith McCulhay in P12. P13, Brooke Ernest, Robbie Tesoriero, Luke Rhodes, Matthew Franco, Greg Nagy and Karen Dowsett, rounding up your top 18. Omar Tahan, Elias Metry and Daniel McCartan, with Keith Hoare, Robert Giolotta and Scott Chapman rounding up your 24 competitors over 6 rows. In the starter's hands, will Aitken get the whole shot that he needs? No, it doesn't look like it. Probably getting the better start was Ben O'Connor. He was going to be one of my picks to take up the challenge, of course. Ben O'Connor being very, very hard charging throughout the entire 600 Supersport program so far today.
Yes, on the 675 triple cylinder Triumph there in front of the 4-cylinder Japanese bikes. So a good start by all those front runners at the moment, but it is a Ben O'Connor on his Triumph out front of Jamie Aitken and Brett Bolster as well, having a big look up the inside of Aitken. The Aitken just turns around and has a bit of a look there, but Brett Bolster's double duties. He's also riding the Super Twin 700.
Well, all 24 competitors have successfully negotiated the first 3 turns anyway, which is good to see.
There's a couple of the riders running a little bit wide there coming into Sydney Motorsport Park ride days. So the 4 people out the front with Carl Kitson in 4th, pulling a bit of a gap now. Here comes Jamie Aiken up the inside of Bolster now as they go into racesworld.com.au.
Forced Bolster a little bit wide, but that's opened up the opportunity for our 4th place runner to be able to get up the inside and actually now occupy 2nd.
Yeah, that was Kitson there.
Yep. Carl Kitson on board machine number 51, Aitken on 96, trying to go around the outside of Kitson, can't do it. Kitson holds his line and holds firm on that line.
There's a good ride there by Kitson, was actually leading the AM-Sport section of the Supersport class coming into round 3. But it's Ben O'Connor pulling a bit of a gap now over the riders behind as they battle for their positions. But here comes Aitken.
I was going to say, so it was Aitken back in 3rd, but now he's up into 2nd.
So the action's been thick and fast already as we have another look again at this pass by Carl Kitson down at Races World Turn 6. Aitken and Bolster both took the wider line whilst Kitson sniffed an opportunity to pass and eagerly took it. But half a lap later at Ipain Oils, Aitken carried excellent momentum down the bikehaggle.com.au back straight and slingshot himself past to reclaim 2nd.
Jamie Aitken has just been chipping away. He broke the challenges of Kitson and Davis, who's coming on strong as well in 4th place at the moment. Good battle back through the pack with Davison, Rhodes and Hend in 7th, 8th, 9th position. Right behind them is Ernest in 10th, not that far off the pace for that battle.
Yeah, nothing separating those 4 riders there. The Triumph Daytona there, but leading that little quartet.
Out of Dunlop Sports Max for the rundown, bikehaggle.com.au for the 5th time, or the 4th time of 8. And Jamie Aitken just can't quite get close enough at this stage on Ben O'Connor. That little Triumph is very strong, isn't it?
He's trying some varying lines too to see if he can get any advantage on the Triumph rider out front, but can't quite do it at the moment as they get ready to come into Sydney Motorsport Park. But he has done it this time. Yes, he can. He has done it now. This is a good move there under brakes for Jamie Aitken.
Don't you just love it when a rider makes a liar out of you when you're doing things like that? It's good feeling, isn't it? Look at the lead that he's got now on board the Green Home Solar Yamaha R1, R6.
Here's number 55's moving through the field. That's Davidson as well. So he's had a good run there. So he's moved into, was it 3rd position?
Callum Barker, is that
that's his parents, yes.
Parents there giving him a good hurry on.
And Jamie Aitken has certainly got a hurry on to win this AM-Sport 600 race. Here's a replay once again of his pass on Ben O'Connor heading into Sydney Motorsport Park ride days.
So we have a Yamaha, a Triumph and a Suzuki out front, the top 3 riders. But Aitken, he's pulling a bit of a gap now, so that gap is now just onto a 2nd.
He's done a good job, as too has the 56.
So Davidson
getting up the inside of Kitson.
He's come through the field quite fast, hasn't he, Davidson? Fastest lap of the race so far. 2nd position on the road now in front of Ben O'Connor, chasing down Jamie Aitken. 2.5 laps to run.
Out of turn 5 for the rundown, bikebiz.com.au. It's only a short straight, but oh, can't you get it all wrong at the end of it?
As we've seen.
Just right on cue. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, that was Bolster.
Yeah, okay.
Run quite wide there, lucky to stay on the asphalt. So he's just in front of Pellegrin on his Triumph. So it is still Jamie Aitken out in front of Davidson.
Let's have a look at a replay of that one. An incident there, of course, with Bolster just getting it all wrong. Look at him, squirrely. Will I keep it on the black stuff? The answer is yes, just.
Yeah, so the back wheel all over the show there. Lance under brake, so he's lost control with the braking, which is not let him turn.
It can quite often be a heart-in-the-mouth situation, can't it? Because you don't know how much weight you've got to put on the back wheel to make it stop, and you don't want to unsqueeze the front brake because you'll go straight ahead. So, yeah, very difficult. Exiting Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days is our leader, Jamie Aitken, down the end of bikebiz.com.au into racesworld.com.au for the final time. Jamie Aitken doing a great job on the Green Homes Solar, and look at that, he will be absolutely ecstatic. His father Paul is beside him in the pits today, his wife is along there as well, and certainly that will be one happy camp indeed. Let's confirm the results. Yamaha R6 of Jamie Aitken, victorious ahead of Oscar Davidson on the Suzuki GSX R600. Ben O'Connor on board the Daytona 3-cylinder 675R Triumph. Kit Carlson, I'll call him Kit Carlson, it's Carl Kitson, and Grant Davis in 5th place. Brian Bolster, Adrian Pellegrin, Brooke Ernest, Luke Rhodes and Mary Molina.
Struggled off the start a little bit, got a bit of a bad start, but yeah, worked my way back through, and yeah, the bike was feeling really good, so really happy.
Don't go too far away, because there's still more racing to come from Queensland Raceway. On the other side of this break, it's the third and final race for the Matrice Stampers Supersports and AM-Sport 600s. Well, thanks for joining us here at Queensland Raceway as our coverage of round 3 of the Swann Super Series continues. We're getting ready now for our third and final race of the Matrice Stampers Supersport and AM-Sport 600s, where the weather radar has picked up some dark clouds that are looming towards our way right now. At this stage, it's not too close to threaten proceedings here at the circuit, so we should get through this race without any dramas, we hope. So as we take a look at the grid, it's Sam Lambert on pole once again from Sam Condon, Callum Barker and Brenton Hyde. Row 2 is Hayden Spinks, Simon Rees, Stephanie Redmond and Shane Irwin. Jack Dawes, Anthony Quinn and Ryan Sellen complete the third row of the Supersports. Jamie Aitken leads the AM-Sport 600 field off the 4th row from Oscar Davidson, Carl Kitson and Grant Davis, whilst row 5 is shared by Brian Bolster, Mary Molina, Adrian Pellegrin and Matt Pillington. Our 6th and final row sees Brooke Ernest, Luke Rhodes, Keith McCulhay and Nathan Brumby alongside each other.
And let's see who gets the whole shot. It's been under the domain of Callum Barker so far today. We've had some great starts and he's done it once again. So we've got another great start there, Callum Barker. But,
well, if anybody wants to learn how to launch one of these things off the line, go and see Callum Barker, who's done it perfectly 3 times so far, hasn't he?
Yeah, she's been just down the road there at Willowbank, having a bit of a practice run down the drags, so learning his starting techniques.
Oh, you said that earlier. I thought you were joking. It's fair dinkum. That's what he was doing.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness me. Well, there you go. No wonder he's been doing well.
Yes, but actually took out the night's proceedings on his little 600. But great battle here. Look at Sam Lambert up the inside of Sam Condon, up the inside of both of them.
Barker, come back the inside. Goodness me, it's almost like speedway racing. 3
abreast going out through Iphone Oil's turn there. But it looks like now Sam Lambert's in front. Here comes Barker having a big look up the inside of Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days. Can't do it.
Sam Condon was the one that really lost out there. He was on the outside in 2nd place. And then when Lambert came up the inside, who's this we've got going off the circuit?
One of the riders. One of the AM-Sport competitors there on his R6. Can't quite see where that is on the part of the circuit, Lance, but it's he's okay back onto the track. But it's all Sam Lambert at the moment. Callum Barker. Steph Redmond's moved up into 4th position, so she's having a great ride.
Wouldn't it be great to see Steph Redmond on the podium? Not wanting Sam Condon to do anything wrong either, but it'd be great to see the young lady up there and have an interview with her.
Taking it right up to the boys in this class, so she's got a little bit of a gap too now over 5th and 6th position of Hayden Spinks and Jamie Aitken. But it's all Sam Lambert at the moment. He hasn't pulled a bit of a gap from Callum Barker, but Sam Condon's there in 3rd. Hayden Spinks right on the back wheel now of Steph Redmond.
And Jamie Aitken not that far behind either on his Yamaha.
Yes, here's another replay of that overtaking manoeuvre of Sam Lambert up the inside of first Sam Condon and then Callum Barker. Barker pulls it back at between them. Gee, that was very, very close there. Steph Redmond still holding out Hayden Spinks. Jamie Aiken's right there as well. But here they come down the front. Swann Insurance main straight. Stephanie Redmond having a great ride so far, sitting in 4th position. A 13.3 is the fastest lap of the race. That's to Sam Lambert last time around. 13.5 to Callum Barker. And a 14.5 for Sam Condon. So a little bit off the pace compared to his first 2 outings.
Yeah, Sam Condon doesn't seem to be as settled on that bike as he has been in the previous 2, does he? I wonder if it's a legacy of tyre wear or whether, in fact, it's a legacy of something a little bit different in terms of mechanical gremlins.
Yeah, he's sort of lost the toe now too with the front 2 riders, and Sam Lambert pulling away with Callum Barker. It was half a second gap. Now Sam Condon's 1.7 seconds behind those 2. And look at the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. Steph Redmond's pulling away from Hayden Spinks. So it's a good ride there by Steph.
Yeah, she's doing a great job, and she's certainly flying the flag high for the female contenders, isn't she? She's done a great job so far this weekend.
Excellent. One of the best looking bikes out there too. The livery's fantastic on it as they come across the start and finish line again. 6 laps to go. But still holding out Hayden Spinks' Kawasaki and Jamie Aitken, another rider returning after a number of years layoff.
Yes, on board the Greenhome Solar Yamaha R6. As we've mentioned before, Jamie Aitken, he started his racing life and a fair bit of it on a Kawasaki with his fathers from Aitken Motorcycles when they existed.
Yep.
And Paul, of course, is here in body and soul. Lambert, Barker, Condon, and then Redmond and Spinks, your top 5 at the moment. Jamie Aitken, the man we're talking about, just a little bit further back in 6th.
Yes, the gap at the front stayed fairly constant for the last lap or so. There's 0.6 of a second. Sam hasn't been able to pull away from Barker like we've seen in the first 2 races. Sam Condon still in the 14.5 second bracket, so still about a second off the pace of the riders out front.
Look at this 4-way battle coming down into Races World. Great entertainment here at Queensland Raceway.
That was a big move there by Rees too. He's come from nowhere really, hasn't he? But Jamie Aitken having a big look behind him now, but Rees now moved into 6th position, relegating Jamie Aitken to 7th.
So that battle is from 4th through to 7th respectively, being headed at the moment by Redmond, Spinks, Rees and Aitken.
All 4 of them covered by less than a second. So excellent ride there by Steph Redmond. She seems it's very, very smooth ride, isn't she?
Very settled through this section of the circuit. A little bit unsettled in the internal part of the circuit though, but what she lacks in there manages to maintain and even gain in the faster sections, Tim.
Yeah, she's going very well at the moment.
Sorry, if you have a look at the way she drives out of here, the bike seems to be very unsettled. When she comes down into Sydney Motorsport Park ride days, the 2 left-handers on the exit, she doesn't look as smooth as what she does on the rest of the circuit. So maybe she's got a little bit of imbalance on left versus right with the setup of the bike.
Yeah, Barker's just pulled his fastest lap of the race, a 13.3. It's 13.2 to Sam Lambert, so
just past the halfway point to Sam Lambert it is. From Callum Barker, Sean Condon, Stephanie Redmond, Hayden Spinks. Then we go back to Rees, Aitken, Davidson, Kitson, Davis, Pellegrin, Rhodes, Mulcahy, Irwin, Brumby, Ernest, Tesserero, Franco, Bolster and Metri rounding up your top 20. Stephanie Redmond down through Matrice Dampers. Still under a lot of pressure from Hayden Spinks and Simon Rees, the 2 Kawasaki mounted riders. Redmond on a Yamaha, Aitken on a Yamaha. That's the quartet that we're concentrating on at the moment as they head down the bikehaggle.com.au back straight.
Yeah, here comes Hayden Spinks up the inside now. Had a big look now. Steph Redmond's not going to let him pass that easy. So no, good line there by Stephanie.
Did you see how wide her elbows became there?
She's going very well in that part of the circuit. As they said, you can see the duck tail of that machine flapping about. But
here comes Rees up the inside of Spinks. Did he manage to get in there? I think he did, the 3.22.
He's come from nowhere, hasn't he?
Jamie Aitken lining up Spinks as well.
There's a great battle here for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th.
Aitken trying to get around the outside on board the green home solar Yamaha R6, I should say. Just a little bit underpowered compared to the Kawasaki's when they punch out of that final turn, Races World. Stephanie Redmond being overtaken there.
Yeah, by Rees got the better, so he's moved now into 4th position. Stephanie relegated to 5th, but it's still a great ride by all 4 of these riders, sticking right close to each other. But it's all Sam Lambert still out in front now by 1.8 seconds from Callum Barker.
Here comes Redmond trying to get back up the inside of Simon Rees. Rees wiser to the manoeuvre. Around the outside goes Spinks. Redmond now relegated back to what's that, 6th position.
We're still coming to the final stages of this race. Only a couple more laps to go.
Well, 8 more corners to be precise. Make that 7 when they come through here. At the end of this straight, it'll only be 6.
Jamie Aiken's having a big look up at Steph Redmond's ducktail as well as they go down bikebiz.com.au. Very close racing there for those 4 riders, all covered still only by 1 second.
Let's have a look at a replay here of what happened with Stephanie Redmond. I think she got a little bit balked there as Simon Rees led them through turn 3. And then around the outside, Hayden Spinks decided to be very bold indeed. Now Redmond. Oh, look at that. Who's that? Jamie Aitken's got up there. Well done.
Hayden Spinks been relegated to 7th.
7th. And Hayden Spinks, yes, now up the inside of Stephanie Redmond, now up the inside of Jamie Aitken. Redmond has to follow Aitken through on the entrance, but not on the exit. Can she get the drive up the inside? No, she can't. This is a thrilling battle, albeit for the minor placings. Redmond trying to outbreak Aitken up the inside down into Sydney Motorsport Park. Ride Days can't do it, won't do it.
Aitken has to bide his time for the moment as we have a look again at how he gained 2 places as he negotiated Dunlop Sportsmax Turn 2. Spinks oversteers exiting Matrice Dampers. Redmond gets balked, and that allowed Aitken to slingshot past them. But Spinks gathers himself very quickly and returns fire at iPone Oils to regain those 2 spots that he lost.
Here we have Jamie Aitken on board the green home solar Yamaha, getting good drive, narrow drive out of Dunlop Sportsmax. Stephanie Redmond, line astern behind, looking to capitalise on the slipstreaming. Will she be able to force him wide? Yes, indeed. Aitken looks over his right shoulder and sees a cheeky Redmond up the inside, forcing him to go wide and relegating him back 1 position. That's all worked into the hands of Hayden Spinks, though, who's quite comfortable in 5th. And here comes our winner now as he crosses the line. Sam Lambert doing a great job, making it 3 from 3 in round 3 of the Swann Super Series. And this, of course, being the Matrice Dampers Supersport and AM-Sport 600, he gets the perfect score.
And the battle's still raging down for this 5th, 6th and 7th spot. Jamie Aitken up the inside now. Stephanie Redmond, they've been overtaking each other every corner in this last lap. Oh, look, Steph Redmond's bike sliding a little bit out there, lost a little bit of drive, so it looks like she's going to be finishing in 7th position.
Confirmation of the results. Sam Lambert finishing ahead of Callum Barker by 3 seconds almost. Sam Condon a further 11 seconds behind. Simon Rees another 7 seconds behind that. Hayden Spinks victorious in that battle ahead of Jamie Aitken. Stephanie Redmond tried as hard as she possibly could but finished in 7th, but is still our leading lady. Oscar Davidson a further 11 seconds behind, with Carl Kitson and Adrian Pellegrin knocking on his door for 8th, 9th and 10th respectively.
The bike is just absolutely on rails at the moment. We haven't really had a problem with it all weekend. Put a new set on for that race, but still struggled on an edge grip a little bit, so we just got a little bit more to work on, but it's been really good. The Addicted to Tracks motorcycle is going around really well, and Scotty's from Edge Competitions getting it working, so it's awesome.
Yeah, it was good. I was chasing Sam down for the majority of that, and then I saw there was a big gap behind me on the pit board, so instead of throwing it away, I just sort of tried to use my head and utilise my what I had like with my position, and got a good points haul then, so yeah, it was good.
Yeah, not bad. Had a good race that one. Struggled a bit here and there. Congratulations to the boys for the second and the win as well. So yeah, happy with the day and look forward to tomorrow.
So Lambert continues his domination of the Matrice Dampers Supersports after today's racing. leading the standings on 190 points, 36 ahead of Callum Barker, who is now on 151. Hayden Spinks elevates into third, only 3 points adrift of Barker, with Simon Rees and Stephanie Redmond rounding out the top 5. Whilst in the AM-Sport 600s, Carl Kitson's championship lead has been eaten away by Jamie Aitken. The gap between them is now just 18 points after today's racing. Grant Davis, Brian Bolster and Robbie Tesoriero complete the top 5. Well, that wraps up our coverage of the Supersports and the AM-Sport 600s here at Queensland Raceway for round 3 of the Swann Super Series. There's still more racing to come in the weeks ahead, with all the horsepower hostilities from Formula Oz, the Pro Twins and the Naked Bikes, as well as the ever-popular 400 Supersports. Join us then.